There's tons of web pages in its data, so it kind of knows what they're supposed to look like. But if you ask it to do something like make a graphic for this or make a slide for this, then and you look at its result, they're usually not that great. Like, they're usually not laid out the best. There's usually like alignment issues that could be better, or like the space isn't filled very well. So one of the best things that you can do, and this is again all across the theme of just, okay, well, I'm saying that Claude Code is bad at these things, but for example, what a lot of people will do, and you might find yourself doing this, is you say, okay, please make a slide in HTML that covers, this thing, and then it makes it, and then you screenshot it, and then you say, hey, can you fix this, this, and this, and then it does it again, and you say, hey, can you fix this, this, and this? Instead of you doing that, think, can I give Claude Code a way to check its own work? And that is just a huge unlock for anything that you're doing with like visual design with AI, is give it a way to see its own work. And so what we have here is we have a skill called make slides. And this is a bit more advanced. So far we've had just words, and then we had words telling it that it has access to a couple tools. This one actually has code in kind of telling it how to use code in the skill, so that when it runs this skill, it will now know that it can run that code to help it check its own work. So here we have our make slide skill. It tells it like, okay, I want it to be these dimensions. I want it to have these layouts. So this is similar, to the front end design skill we saw. But what's new is that there's an actual build process. So it's step one, and it's telling it that like kind of the different types of code that it can use. And it's saying, hey, you can measure overflow. So it's using a tool called Puppeteer, which is like a very classic front end development tool, so that you can take screenshots of HTML pages just exactly as they look when they're rendered. And we're saying, hey, you have access to Puppeteer. Use it in this particular way. So it's telling it like the dimensions that it should grab. And then it's doing a calculation here to see, does any of this text fall off the page? And that's a thing that if Claude doesn't have a tool to check that, it can't really do it on its own. But with a tool, it can do it basically perfectly. And so that's what this skill does, is just embeds that code-based tool directly in the skill, so that when we say, hey, make a slide, it will run these tools that it knows it has access to.
So this is the implementation of the advice when I asked Carl the question, what skills should you make? And he said, well, anything that's coming up in your workflow. If it's coming up that you're iterating on these slides by having to look at it, build a skill. And now you guys are seeing the most advanced way to build a skill with the code in it.
Yep. And so here I said, use your make slide skill to make a single detailed slide for a presentation called From Watching to Collaborating, kind of the theme of this. And so now what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and create that, screenshot itself, calculate. And then one thing I found is if you just say, like, you must iterate 3 times before you show me, it'll be much better than if you say, oh, just go until you're done. I would say this is an area where you really see AI just really have like great taste. If you give it an infographic that just has tons of information on it, they're like, wow, this is so amazing. But the actual content or the layout might be terrible. So it's helpful to just say, hey, you have to improve it 3 times, and then it will find some ways to try doing that.
Yes. And there's also this crazy phenomena where if you repeat yourself with your skills, the AI does better. There was just a Google paper released where they showed that literally just pasting in a prompt twice helps. And I've been using this in almost all my skills these days. I'll say, after I execute it once, I'll say, go double check against the skill again, and it really improves it. And so Carl's technique is a way to sort of encode that so that it builds it into itself.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I think I've heard that called the builder-validator pattern, where like when a AI just runs its own work, it doesn't really have that like self-reflection to like really know if it did it. Like, it tries to follow the rules. So just having it, I've never heard of just running the prompt at the same time. That's very interesting. But I have had it just like, okay, do this, and then here's the rules that was supposed to do. Did it follow those rules in like the second pass? And the quality just goes up so much.
So while this is building, can you show us how to auto-invoke skills? Here's the dirty secret about prototyping. You spend 2 weeks building a prototype. You validate your assumptions. Engineering loves the direction. Then what happens? You throw the whole thing away. Bolt changes this completely. When you prototype in Bolt, you're not building throwaway mockup. You're building real front-end code that integrates with your existing design system. So when you hand it to engineering, they don't throw it away. They ship on top of what you've built. use Bolt every single day. I host my land PM job cohort on it. And honestly, I'm up till 2 a.m. some days just vibing in the tool, having fun, and building. That's when you know a product is good. When you're using it past midnight, not because you need to, but because you want to. Check out Bolt at bolt.new/Akash. That's bolt.new/AAKASH. Link in the show notes. Today's episode is brought to you by Amplitude. Replays of mobile user engagement are critical to building better products and experiences. But many session replay tools don't capture the full picture. Some tools take screenshots every second, leading to choppy replays and high storage costs from enormous capture sizes. Others use wireframes, but key moments go missing, creating gaps in your understanding. Neither approach gives you a truly mobile experience. Amplitude does things differently. Their mobile replays capture the full experience. Every tap, every scroll, and every gesture, with no lag and no performance hit. It's the most accurate way to understand mobile behavior. See the full story with Amplitude. I hope you enjoyed that short clip. You can check out the full episode here.